What's up, y'all? What's poppin'? It's D. Boss react to this vid by Hoog. This is why Amsterdam is building a new red light district. Someone sent me this because I said in a video that I really want to go to Amsterdam. I might go this year, actually. I'm definitely going to Europe for sure in the summertime, so I might hit up Amsterdam while I'm over there in that area, you feel me? So yeah, I'm interested in checking out their red light district. You know, I just be wanting to check it out and see, you know, what was popping or whatever, see what they got going on. I think they're very interesting. I don't partake because I don't do hookers or anything like that. But definitely, you know, want to check things out. I have been to a few. The last one I went to was in Philippines. Theirs was very interesting. They were very aggressive. Anyway, let's see what they have to say about Amsterdam. So let's watch.
This is the design of Amsterdam's new erotic center. Commissioned by the city government in 2020, it's a concept for a 5,000 square meter high-rise with hotel rooms, offices, bars, entertainment facilities, a store, and a restaurant.
Oh, wow.
When it's finished, it will be one of Europe's largest and most advanced brothels. And as interesting as its design are the locations that it's being considered for. Locations on the outskirts of the city. So why did Amsterdam's government commission the design of this new building? Why locations far from its historic red-lit center? And why are people so angry?
Oh, what's going on?
Back in 2009, a Labour politician waited. The city was voting on a plan he had spearheaded, a plan called Project 1012. Named after the zip code of the city's most notorious red light district, it was designed to clean it up. Low-quality buildings, such as window brothels and coffee shops, had to go. But instead of making new regulations, the lawmaker was praised for a unique approach. His solution was spatial: buy up buildings associated with crime and push crime away. The city government was convinced, and his plan would pass. Little did they all know, it would soon collapse. Over the course of more than a decade, it would lead to the closure of more than 100 individual window brothels, along with tens of individual coffee shops. However, when attempts were made to measure the impact of Project 1012, not much could be found. It had a marginal impact on crime, and today the center's image as an adult theme park with shady edges still remains strong. But if there's one thing his plan did do, was that it created a rift among hundreds of sex workers and the city government of Amsterdam, one that persists even as the newest mayor picks up the mantle again and tries to change the center even more. In 2020, the city government banned organized tours of the red light district. In May of 2023, bans on cannabis within the district entirely. There's also been mandated bar closures, bans on the sale and display of alcohol, and even ad campaigns targeted towards young to middle-aged British men. She and the executive body have even floated the idea of banning international tourists from buying marijuana in the city entirely.
Oh, y'all hating.
She's also brought up the idea of introducing entrance gates to the red light district. This would create the first physically regulated neighborhood in a major European city. Not even Venice does that. But her most controversial suggestions started soon after her nomination in 2019, when she brought attention towards changing the rooms in the red light district again. In Amsterdam, there are actually 3 separate red light districts. The most well-known is in the center, called De Wallen, which has 249 rooms. But the other 2, and much less well-known, are the Singelgebied and the Ruisdaelkade, which have 63 and 40 rooms respectively. In 2019, Femke Halsema, the newest mayor of Amsterdam, presented 4 scenarios for the future of De Wallen. 3 of those scenarios targeted each of these districts in order to reduce over-tourism. Her first scenario was to change window prostitution permanently. Amsterdam closes all the curtains in the Wallen and Singel, while the rooms stay open. If a lot of the attraction to the red light district is simply to be able to walk around and look, take away what people look at, and you not only reduce potential tourists, but push the tourists that do come to other parts of the city.
That's literally why. That's the same reason why I've been to a couple different sex clubs for the same reason. I don't partake. participate at all. Well, anyway, but I mainly just go for the environment. You know, just be in the midst of things, and you go to watch, to look, to socialize. It's just a very interesting environment. So, this is some hater shit.
Sex workers can increasingly rely on getting clients via their phones rather than off the streets. The assumption is that this would just speed up an inevitable transformation from physical windows to digital ones. In her second scenario, Amsterdam would see the most radical change. All the rooms in the Volle and Singel are removed and shifted to other parts of the city. The number of rooms does not change like it did in Project 1012, but their locations do. However, because closing all the rooms in the Volle is highly unrealistic, the city government is going forward with Halsema's third and most realistic scenario. Instead of all, a chunk of the rooms in the Volle and Singel are moved. Although it's more realistic, the city government has not made it clear how large that chunk will actually be. But, different from Project 1012, Halsema has made the commitment that when rooms get removed, they have to come someplace new. At the start, the government considered two building types, a single-unit high-rise, and the second, a cluster of different multifunction buildings. They also commissioned research into building on a floating pavilion. The design is meant to anticipate for about 100 individual rooms for sex workers, and also other entertainment facilities. On the one hand, the city wants to model Pasha when it comes to size. Pasha is the world's largest brothel. However, it's not a particularly welcoming or friendly-looking building. So on the other hand, they also want to model the more modern, less sketchy design of Antwerp's largest brothel, Villa Tinto. But these brothels aside, there's a few things that make Amsterdam's new erotic center completely different. The mayor of Amsterdam knows that a brothel is controversial. This is why she hopes Amsterdam can make one with class and distinction. By mixing hotel rooms with painting courses, art exhibitions, and a debate center, the hope is that they can avoid designing an isolated sex palace. For an actual physical model, they commissioned Moog, a Dutch architecture studio, to come up with a design. The architects Gianni Cito and Jurgen ten Hoeve designed a concept that attempts to convert the linear streets of the red light district into a circular form. Inspired by Frank Lloyd Wright's Guggenheim, Cito won an architecture prize for making a design that repurposed two sugar silos into a cultural center with internal circular walkways. Jurgen ten Hoeve, the other architect, was nominated for the same prize in 2018 for his design of a collection of buildings modeled after a monastery. It was a network of buildings superimposed in Rotterdam that attempts to give an option for pedestrians to leave the busyness of the city. Together, both architects produce an interesting combination. You get a building that kind of looks like a parking garage with a continuous walkway that allows you to walk in the building as you would in the Volle, but circularly as opposed to linearly. Also, instead of a floor of the same individual homogeneous hotel rooms, it also attempts to recreate the network of the buildings on the street on each individual floor as well. To choose a location for the building, the city government considered 8 regions, and as of today, they've narrowed it down to 2 main locations, NDSM in Noord and around the Rij in Zuid. In Noord, Amsterdam would have to deviate somewhat from the original Moog design and construct a floating brothel. It's likely that it would be a ponton of around 100 by 20 meters, with 2,000 square meters of space for 5 total floors. 1 basement, 1 roof terrace, and with the remainder holding the rooms and other facilities.
A floating brothel sounds
The government also
crazy.
considered repurposing a cruise ship, since it would already be readily equipped with rooms, bars, theaters, and attractions like casinos. However, a cruise ship has a large number of constraints, making it an unlikely option.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't like that.
NDSM as a preferred location comes from the
But I'm
fact that it's a
stuck
diverse,
over here.
culturally rich neighborhood. It has plenty of room for additional buildings, such as for any needed security or additional parking, but it also hosts one of the largest flea markets in Europe, has multiple popular restaurants and cultural attractions, and it also has a high density of mixed residential use areas. Nonetheless, NDSM has a weakness. Its most immediate connection is via ferry. Not only is that slower than other forms of public transport, but a ferry can only withstand so many more people. Amsterdam has considered building bridges to North, but but it's unclear how long that would take or if they'll ever be built at all. So NDSM's main fault is its reachability, but NDSM's biggest benefit is that it's considerably hipper than the other section of the city that's under consideration. Zuid is the poshest and most entitled area of Amsterdam and offers 2 plots: the Groene Zone, a 2,000 square meter triangular piece of land, and then a second, likely the preferred option, a 21,500 square meter plot of land.
All right, I got a gist of what's going on. But yeah, I think this is a great idea. I love the architecture. I love the layout. And I would definitely visit, when it's completed. Like I said, I've been to a few different brothels, a few different red light districts in the Philippines and Colombia. And I think they're interesting environments, And you don't have to, go just to have sex. Obviously, most people are going for that purpose. But, I just think they're interesting. I think they make for great travel stories. I think, they're a great tourist attraction, and I think everyone should check it out. Doesn't mean you have to do anything, doesn't mean you have to be a man. You can be a woman and just watch and observe what's taking place. So yeah, I'm all for it. That chick though trying to ban weed for tourists though, that's some hater shit. Like, what, aren't they known for their drugs there, or am I thinking of somewhere else? I think they are known for drugs there. So what is that about? Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what other videos you want me to watch, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.